testimony of a highly illegal, top-secret operation being carried out within the United States and probably worldwide. This operation is carried out using directional energy weapons, voice-to-skull, and remote neural monitoring on targeted individuals. This technology is so advanced that it reads the thoughts of the target as they are extracted from the victim's brain and downloaded to a supercomputer. A brain-computer interface is what links the target's unique brain frequency to their system, and it is virtually impossible to detect or unlink, from what I have been told, through V2K. I clearly remember the night I began hearing the microwave auditory effect of the voice-to-skull. I don't know exactly how I got linked to this technology, but I am certain of the reality and dangers of it. I had no previous knowledge of directional energy weapons, voice-to-skull, or brain-computer interfaces until they were explained to me via voice-to-skull by the perpetrators. As I was lying in bed, November of 2020, I began hearing two separate faint-sounding voices in my head. They were telling me I could read minds, and it quickly became obvious that they were actually the ones reading my mind, as every single thing I thought of, they commented on, and I was replying back in thought via synthetic telepathy. They quickly began making the most vulgar remarks and accusations, harassing me. This back and forth between myself and the ones who have me linked would be basically 24/7 shit talking. They would degrade me, I would degrade them, so on and so forth. Quite often I would get this extremely high-pitched frequency in my eardrums, controlled by the perpetrators, which would cause extreme discomfort and pain, along with the suction feeling in my ear when I placed my fingers in them. They use these tactics in a way to keep targets in a fear and let them know how much damage they can inflict on you. I was hospitalized several times due to some of the mind control tactics they used on me. 2 near deaths from self-induced heart attacks, and once hospitalized from another incident. The perpetrators would use electromagnetic pulses on my chest and say the voice command heart palpitations, which in turn set me into a panic, speeding up my heart rate until I almost died. In April of 2021, I was hospitalized from another incident caused by them. After being discharged from the hospital, I left Pennsylvania and went to Tennessee for a month. During this time, somehow, I was unlinked from the device, and that was validating enough for me that this technology does exist and is being used on civilians. The entire month I heard absolutely no voices to skull. There was no high-pitched frequency, and my thoughts were not being read. I finally had regained peace of mind by the end of my stay, but almost immediately upon returning to New Jersey, the same people who had obviously linked my brain back to the computer interface. I arrived home at the end of May, and by the second day there, it became clear that I was back on this technology. The voice-to-skull began again in obvious harassment and mind-reading. I booked a flight to Southwest Florida in hopes of unlinking myself on the flight, but found no success and was still linked when the plane touched down. For the next 10 months, the same constant 24/7 voice-to-skull synthetic telepathy feud continued, along with every other type of damage they could inflict on me with this weapon. I tried working several jobs, but due to the harassment had on me, I would find it unmanageable to continue each one of these for very long. It was clear the perpetrators were deliberately making my life a living hell for whatever reason, encouraging me to commit suicide, degrading myself, my family, my friends, and encouraging me to take my life, and threatening to take my life and others close to me, if I was to tell anyone what was happening. Finally, in March of 2022, I booked a flight back to New Jersey, where I've been since. Once again on the flight, I was not unlinked, and I'm still undergoing a constant V2K war in my head with the two people that have me linked to this weapon. They claim that this technology is impossible to unlink oneself from, and have stated numerous times that I am not coming off this thing alive. They have also claimed that this is going to be used in all civilians randomly in the next several years to eliminate pretty much anyone of their choosing. This technology is so perverse that it needs to be stopped immediately, and the organization running this operation needs to be served justice. After posting this video I'm almost certain I will be facing an inevitable death by their hands. I will try getting my brain monitored by an EEG to see if this will detect that I am linked. The only other thing I could think of would be having my brain linked to another brain-computer interface in hopes of detecting, detecting me being linked and gaining evidence in order to pursue a lawsuit for this illegal operation that has completely destroyed the past 17 months of my life and is an absolute crime against humanity. If there's anyone out there with some sort of advice on how I can unlink myself from this technology or detect it, please do not hesitate to reach out ASAP, because like I said, after I post this video, I will probably be tortured by the perpetrators. Please share this video as much as possible, because it needs to become open knowledge to every U.S. citizen that this technology is being used on us against the will of the targets.